Okay, cool. Hopefully everything is cool on here. iPad, perfect. Okay, y'all. Sorry, I was just making sure everything was okay for the stream. But welcome, people watching my video. Hopefully by the title of the video you see that today I'm talking about a lighter topic. I know last week I talked about like inner demons and like that's kind of serious or whatever. So this week I was kind of like, okay, let me think of something that might be a little, maybe like a switch up. So I'm talking about the concept or the idea of love, what it is, how so many people I think in the world are devoid of love. And when I speak of love, I'm talking about like not the sort of romantic love that you see in Hollywood or whatever. I'm talking about like the genuine love that I want to say lies in a lot of human beings. It's the type of love that we often call like brotherly love, like when you're just honestly showing love to people you don't know, your friends, whoever, without expecting anything back in return. And it's really like a selfless type of love. Hey Jerome, thank you for coming into the stream. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And as you can see, I already started drawing something that I created a little earlier. And I'm probably just going to be coloring it while I talk about this. But yeah, honestly, my favorite combos right now are really the Procreate pencil and the watercolor. Like that's how I do hella of my drawings nowadays. But so I guess I'll start off by saying like I think we all kind of know that love is kind of like a complex sort of deal. And I think it's something that like a lot of people long for. They long to be loved. And I think we naturally in many ways we naturally go ahead and I think love, it's not until social constructs and stuff pop up that we start to see things that aren't necessarily love, but people will claim it to be love. What is love to me? Yeah, I will definitely get into what love is to me. But so like whether it's from a parent or a partner or a friend, the relationship is bound to always involve some form of love. And I think that's like the basis for a lot of relationships, or at least I can only speak for myself. Like that's a relationship for everybody that I have. Like I show love to the best of my ability, if that makes any sense. What the fuck? I don't know what is going on with this. That was ugly. What the heck? Oh, I see. I chose the wrong watercolor brush. I was about to say. But anyway, so yeah. I think all relationships, personal relationships, friendships, all have a basis of love somewhere in there. And I think that we kind of end up forgetting that essence of it when we have relationships with other people. But I think socially our concepts of what love is and what it means is constantly warped. And what do I really mean by that? Well, you know what? Let me get into it in just a second after I just like, yeah, fix this. There we go. Nice. Nice. Okay. So, when it comes to movies and shows, we are constantly bombarded with one image of what love is supposed to be like. And that's usually, like, they usually show it, like, with, I don't know about foreign films, I can only speak for American films. Love to Americans always equates to some form of sexual behavior. And I think most of us are grown enough to know that any sort of sexual behavior does not necessarily equate to love. And with that being said, now I guess I'll go ahead and talk about what love is to me. But first, I gotta go and tell y'all that you have to remove all preconceptions that you have about love so we can have an open dialogue, because I feel like we all have this concept of what love, quote unquote, is, but that's not the reality or the nature of what love actually is. We go based off of what we see in movies or what we see socially, but it's not necessarily what those, those things that we view. So, long story short, we get caught up in the idea of intimate relationships equating to love. And we end up forgetting what love is at its at its core, its purest form. Oh, hey Crits. Thank you, Mod. What's up? So, for me personally, love kind of resonates with selflessness. I think that was like the first word that really came up to my head when I was like thinking about this. It all involves selflessness. And it's really about doing things not for the benefit of yourself, but for the benefit of others. And it's acting in no ill will towards another person. And it's no intent to harm. And ultimately, like, it doesn't, I want to say, like, love is not supposed to cause pain, y'all. Love is not supposed to cause pain. It's not supposed to cause any harm. So if there's any circumstance where you're feeling some sort of like pain from another person who says that they quote unquote love you, that's not love to me. Hey, what's up, Ippo? Thank you for tuning in, man. I also wanted to say shout out Ippo. He just got to affiliate on Twitch, so if you have not followed him on Twitch, go ahead and follow him. And if you're not subscribed to his Twitch, go ahead and subscribe too. And shout out to Crystal at Crystal Gale, also on Twitch, for giving me a sub to Ippo's stream. He got some really cool content going on in his stream. Lots of cool people, cool vibes, so definitely check them out. Wow, hey Matt, how's it going? Maddie, what? I was not expecting bro to be up in here. What is going on? What's up, Matt? But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, it's not supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to hurt, and if it does, it isn't love. And in selflessness, if we think about selflessness, we also realize that, yeah, it's really about, not about you, not about the ego. That's what it is. That's what it is. I think love is also about telling the other person when they're wrong in all truth and honesty so that they can be better people. Yeah. I think that we often mistaken criticism that comes out of love for a shot or a jab at somebody's character when that's not the truth. Hey, Turtle Man! Wow, that's what's up! Dude, we have not seen you in heck long, dude. I hope you've been doing okay. But yeah. it's above the self, it's above the ego, is what I basically wanted to say. So essentially it's almost self-sacrificial. Oh, I'm drawing, it's almost like a heart, but like, what do they call that one card? It's almost like a club. It almost looks like a club. It's just some trippy stuff, honestly. I love talking about love. No, for real. Yes. Yeah, so it's self-sacrificial, it's unconditional. It's not supposed to hurt. And if you do things out of love, you don't expect anything to give you anything back in return usually. And oftentimes we don't keep count of things we've done for others because it's done out of love. Like, if you're keeping count of what you do for other people, I don't think you're really doing it to be a really good person. You're probably not. Yes, it is 2 hearts in 1. But yeah, it also tends to look past people's flaws. I think that, as people, we are flawed people. And some of those flaws do need some love. I mean, we can't all just be perfect. And if I'm being honest, I don't think love really has boundaries. It transcends boundaries of like ego, materialism, social constructs, anything that really involves like the physical world, to be honest. Oh, what? Is there a right and wrong way to love? Honestly, I don't think there's necessarily a right way to love, but I think there are wrong ways to love. I think that love in itself, like I said earlier, is very complex. So you have to experience love to even know what love is. So there's no necessarily like there's not a right way to love, but there are definitely wrong ways to love. Like, for example, like when people become like hella obsessive over other people and controlling and things like that, that's not loving the right way. That's something else. That's fake love. Crystal says, I always say this, the unconditional love that you have for your parents should be the same love towards all the people you claim to love, because love for your family is unconditional. It's hard to translate that to your partner because you're not seeing them as unconditionally tied families or even friends. Yeah, I definitely agree with Crystal. And honestly, whenever Crystal says stuff like that, like, that's what kind of inspires me to do like videos like this, because it's like, yeah, the love that you have for your parents or your brother or your sister or your sibling or your cousin or some other family member should be the love that you possess for everybody else. It shouldn't just be limited to just your family. I don't think that a lot of people understand it like that, though. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want everybody to start thinking of love in a sort of family way, so that we are just spreading more love in the world, y'all. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but like, the world needs a lot of healing, and healing comes from love. I don't think there's any way for any problem to really get resolved unless it comes from, a space of love. Yeah, what's a wrong way to love? Yeah, when love is conditional or transactional. I agree, Crits. When love is transactional or conditional, that's not real love. I also think that, like, again, if somebody's saying that they love you and they're trying to control you and do tell you what to do and things like that, that is absolutely not love. That is fake love. Fake love exists. People who smile in your face and talk shit behind your back, that's also fake love. That's not real love. Oh yeah, transactional or conditional love? Crits, yeah, do you have an example that you wanted to put in the chat? Yeah, I think conditional love, for example, like, there are cases where you may have, like, let's say, you're in a relationship with somebody, or not even, let me not even say a relationship. Let's say you have an older sibling, and the only time they ever show you any sort of attention or friendliness to you is if you go ahead and do something for them. Like, hey, can you clean my car? And then that's when the older sibling, rewards the younger sibling with, I don't know, attention. Like, let's go hang out, let's go and do this. And let's say that the next time the little sibling asks for something, the older sibling's like, nah, I don't want to do that unless you do something for me. Yeah, so like that, I think that's a clear example of how transactional love can be. I think also when you think of like when a baby is first born and the mother is caring for that child, the baby in itself can only demand from the mother, and the child itself at that point cannot necessarily give any form of love and action back to the parent other than just it existing. The parent is constantly feeding the child, caring for the child and all this stuff, and the baby just keeps on taking and taking and taking and never, basically doesn't give much back. That's transactional, I think, also. And Crystal says, everyone should be shown it at a bare minimum. Yeah, exactly. And she also says, or like even with parents, like unless you're bringing home good grades or doing what they want you to do, then you won't be acknowledged. Yes, exactly. Those are examples of transactional love. And transactional love is conditional. I don't love you unless you're bringing A's home. Or I don't love you unless, you're living out this dream for me. When it's not even your dream, your own personal dream. So, yeah, that's what I mean where love can be hella fucking toxic is in cases where it is transactional and in cases where it is conditional. And usually, I feel like those type of relationships only happen with folks who are definitely very just like full of themselves. Very full of themselves. And honestly, that's the only type of love that they can really experience. And in a lot of ways, that is energy sucking. Your love is energy, y'all. Your love is energy. And if it's not being reciprocated and it's only being taken, it's not real love. It's not. So, hopefully, I hope that that kind of clears that up. But yeah, that's just my personal experience of what it is to me and what I think about it. And like I said, the movies, the social media, and all that stuff, they really just, I don't know, make love into something that it's not, that it doesn't need to be. It really doesn't. Let's see. Yep, Asian parents. Oh, we can only speak for ourselves. Yes, we can only speak. Yeah, exactly. Your ass will be chopped at the end of the night if you aren't doing by what the other person says you need to be doing by. And isn't that some BS, y'all? Isn't that some BS? And I did want to add that I also believe that I think love is one of the biggest motivators for a lot of people. People don't do things unless they love it. For example, you don't do a sport. You don't do a sport that you hate. You do a sport that you love. I don't do this art. If I didn't love this art and doing it, I wouldn't be doing it. I think it's a big motivator. Big motivator. You wouldn't do X, Y, and Z for somebody unless you love them. And like I said, the love has to be deeper, and it has to go beyond the, just your family, because the world out there is hella loveless, y'all. That's the point that I wanted to make. Also, is that the world is just hella loveless, and it's honestly fucking ugly because of that. And a lot of people's behaviors and actions are ugly because they don't love. They don't act out of love. They act out of like transactional type of thing, out of a transactional type of relationship. I was reading this book called Know Thyself. I think it was from this book called Know Thyself, and I think I've mentioned this book before. But this book talked about how love for a certain group of people has been always transactional. It has always been to the point of, what can you do for me, and then I'll love you. What do I mean by this? An example I kind of wanted to give was, I guess I'll have to use like a sports reference again. Do the fans love the player because they're good players, or do the fans love the player because the player is making their team win? Hey, what's up, Stefan? Say what's up. Shout out Stefan, shout out Ippo, shout out Jerome, shout out Turtle Matt, everybody who's up in my stream right now and chatting it up. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming on in. But yeah, so as I was saying, like with the sports reference, do the fans love the player because he's good at what he does, or do the fans love the player because he does something for the fans, he makes the team win? That's another example of how you can differentiate between real love or transactional love. Is like thinking in terms of that. Is it because I'm doing something for them that they love me, or that they want to be my friend or whatever? Or is it because they actually like me for me and that I'm talented or whatever? So yeah. Hey, what are your thoughts about love? I had just talked about what I felt love is. I think when true, genuine love, like I said, like that sort of love thy neighbor, brotherly love, and I don't mean to use brotherly as a gendered term. It's just, it's just what they use when they're talking about, human connection. So please do not try to cancel me for using gendered terms. For anybody out there, please do not cancel me for using gendered terms. It's just what, it's just what it means. But anyway, I don't think that a lot of people can really identify real love when it hits them. I don't think so. Because some people love the player from skill. Yeah, see? Do they love them for them? Or is it because there's certain things about them and what they can do for them? Yes. Faye says, love is complicated yet simple, and it is so different for everyone else. But giving love is always the same feeling of sacrifice, I feel, because it's uncomfortable to fully and unconditionally love someone. Wow. So Faye, you actually think it's uncomfortable to fully and unconditionally love someone? I can definitely feel you about that, because it gets to a point where I think we give out so much love, unconditional love, that it gets overspent and taken advantage of. And that's when it can start to give us feelings of being uncomfortable or unwilling to open our hearts up to unconditionally love someone else. Crystal says, we can't know love if our parents never knew it. And that is the sad part, that if the people around you aren't conditioned a certain way, you won't be either. Yeah, the social aspect to it also plays a role. If your parents did not really experience that sort of thing in their, I guess, growing up as a kid themselves, they're not going to be able to teach you about that either. And it is very sad. And that's why I'm saying, like, us who have at least experienced some bit of love have to be able to pass that on to the next person, because there are so many people, I feel, and I think, that exist out there who do not know what real love is, and it keeps them running in the same toxic circles that they be running in, you know? I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. But yeah, that's true. That is so true. Okay, hold on, y'all. While y'all are up in there, I'm gonna read the chat in just a second. I'm just like looking through my different brushes and seeing what I want to do with this next. I think I want to go, let's see. Oops. Oh, I will actually go with that. Oh yeah, and let's see. So Ippo says, or Stefan says, and it may make you confront certain things in yourself. Most definitely, yeah. Like allowing them to fully be themselves sometimes. Yeah, I definitely feel that. If you don't feel as if you can fully be yourself around someone, then I don't think you're really in a loving environment, because I think love is open. Love, to me, is something, again, that it exudes or goes above the constructs or limits that we imagine it today. Like, it goes beyond that. Like, so a mother who doesn't love their child because they're a certain sexuality, that's not love. You're putting condition on love. And when it comes to the term, you know, the saying love thy neighbor, it's never in a way where you're judging them or saying that you can't love them because they identify a certain way or something like that. That's not real love at all. That's not real love. Love transcends all of that. That's the experience. That's, you know, that's the main one of another main point that I want everybody to understand. It transcends social constructs, you know, race, gender, sexuality, nationality, all that stuff. It transcends that. We shouldn't be warring with other people if we have this, you know, basis of love within us and respect for one another. Crystal says, I think love is uncomfortable because of experience. Because, yeah, being vulnerable and doing the most for somebody might not bear any fruits from that labor. Exactly. Like, showing people unconditional love might not be reciprocated. So it's scary not knowing who to show and what to give. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Jerome says, because they've never been loved. Yep, exactly. Parents can't show love if they've never been loved. And Stefan says, I mean, I agree, but also disagree, because some people grow up in environments and do everything they can to grow differently. That's true, yeah. Sometimes, even if your parents never showed you any love, you may find somebody else out there in the world that's able to show you, and then you can, you know, grow that love within yourself. Ippo says, everyone's first perspective is their parents, for sure. Whether they are happily ever after, always fighting divorce, cheating, it reflects. Absolutely, Ippo. Hey, Beyond, what's up? Thank you. But yeah, absolutely. Everybody's like 100% right. I feel like in what you guys are saying about all this, I definitely agree. It's hard to love unconditionally when I think a lot of us start, especially as kids, we start out being able to love everybody and anything, but then we get hurt, and then we start putting conditions on our love, and then it makes it harder for us to love other people. And I have this challenge myself, y'all. I really do. Like, I have this love-hate relationship for humanity. I hate but I also love humanity to the point where I'm trying to help course correct. I have a love-hate relationship. There's a thin line between love and hate. That's corny, but it's actually also true.
Because you and Daddy love each other so much.
Oops. I think that, what was the next thing I wanted to say? Oh, that people often take advantage of love because its boundaries are essentially limitless. And that, yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, even as kids, we have an open heart to love anybody. We don't put conditions on anybody. You know, we go to the park and we see another kid playing and we automatically want to play with that other kid. We don't look at them a certain way because of what they look like or how they're dressed or anything like that. We don't put conditions on it. We just want to play. We just want to respect them. We just want to have fun. And that's what I mean when I say like love is limitless and does not have any boundaries. Let's see. Crystal says, I feel like you have to know how to love yourself before loving others. Like, that sounds cliche, but people need to date themselves by themselves. Treat you how you want to be treated by somebody. Yeah, I agree. Turtle Matt, I've gotten hurt twice out of having a relationship. Yeah, Turtle Matt, I agree with you, man. Relationships can often hurt. And that hurt is definitely something that can prevent us from even wanting to take a chance to love again. You know? Be careful with that. Yeah. Middle school relationships make or break you. A lot of folks experience their first intimate relationships in that sort of context. Let's see. Your love can have boundaries. Your love can have boundaries. Your love can have boundaries, and it should have boundaries because, like I said, it's limitless, and because of that, people can essentially take advantage of it. And thank you for pointing that out, Faye. I really appreciate you saying that because, yeah, love is limitless. It needs fucking boundaries. It needs boundaries or you will get, like, walked all over. And people put love, I think, in the same place as weakness. I feel you, Beyond. I feel you. It basically, yeah. So like I was saying, yeah. It's love makes us blind, y'all. Love makes us blind. Love with no boundaries can turn into hate. Yeah, exactly. If you do not have boundaries on your love, it can turn into hate because it gets to a point where you can hurt so bad that, guess what? Now I absolutely hate love. I'm rejecting all aspects of love. You know, I don't even want to deal with it. And that's where it can turn into hate. And don't equate generosity to love. Absolutely. Yep. And Thay says, because that's how toxic relationships... Oh my God, yes. Toxic relationships go like that. Absolutely. Taking advantage of people's, unconditional love and turning it into something that it wasn't supposed to be like to begin with. AKA turning it into some form of hate. And that's, guys, that is no bueno. That is no bueno. Ippo says, I will never want to be in a toxic relationship. Period. Hey, yes. And that, even saying that right there is a boundary in itself. I hope that everybody's, catching on to that. You saying that you don't want to be in a toxic relationship should be a boundary. that whenever you know, start to experience something where some sort of toxicity is going on, that is your cue to be like, hey, I never said I wanted to be in a relationship like this. You know, I wanted a relationship of love. I wanted a relationship of respect. So that's your cue to put up the boundary and really be like, nah, bro, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. But it's hard sometimes. I understand it's hard to leave certain people because, again, we got these emotional ties of love towards people, but we have to put up those boundaries. We have to put up those boundaries. Thank you. Y'all, my nickname's Ray Lewis. Yeah, and Jerome says, just takes years off your life. Exactly. It doesn't make sense to put up in something that can ultimately, kill you. Period. And at the end of the day, y'all, love does not need to involve sexual intimacy all the time. I see y'all young folk. I see the young folk out there thinking that just because they're having sex with somebody, that means the person loves them or likes them or whatever. Nah, I hate to break it to the shorties out there who really think like that, and whose mothers and whose fathers never told y'all, sex does not equate to love. Love goes beyond just the physical aspect here. And I think that because they promote it so heavily, like amongst younger people, about what love is on social media and TikTok and YouTube and all this other stuff, like even with like the fucking family channels, guys, and the relationship YouTubers, like what you see on the camera is not fucking love. What you see those families doing on the camera is not love. I think we need to like kind of be able to decipher that, because I'm seeing a lot of the kids really thinking like that's it. You know, that's what love is supposed to look like. And I can't necessarily say that I haven't fallen for something like that. Let's see. Sorry guys, let me look at, I'm reading up on the chat right now. I think Crystal says, I think setting boundaries and know how to healthily do that comes with experience. Exactly. It does come with experience. We don't have much experience over here. Ippo says communication. Absolutely. And Stefan says, hell no, I don't. Yep, exactly. It does not need to include any sexual intimacy at all. Real love to me does not involve sex. That's an added plus, I guess, but it doesn't have to involve that. Crystal says, not necessarily age, but experience. If my parents allowed me to practice boundaries from a kid, then I'd be good at it by now. Right. But parents are the first ones to violate your fucking boundaries. Let's see. Crystal says, the Bay Area is toxic because a lot of adults here have set idea that love equals sex. I'm tired of this being passed on. Like, y'all, I've dealt with so many like female friends who literally come up with this delusion in their head that because they're having sex with somebody, that's their boyfriend, that they love them or whatever, when in reality, it was never like that. They've been using you just for your body this whole time. And what's so crazy is out of love, I would go and tell these folks that the relationship that they think they're in is not real. And they took that as a hit to their character and they started to not like me because of that. And I was telling them that out of love. And that's what I mean. People be taking love the wrong way. Like, no, bitch, you're just... And I'm sorry to cuss, I don't want to be cussing, but it's just like, no, you are over here living a fucking delusion. And I think I said this earlier in the stream, love is blinding. Love blinds you. Love blinds you. That's the truth. That's a fucking truth. Let's see. Stefan says, your early experiences of trying to set boundaries is the reason why your boundaries are the way they are today. Period. Exactly. Yep. Ippo says, I hate YouTubers like that. Yeah, those family YouTubers, those relationship YouTubers, no thank you. Crystal says, if they're in a relationship, and if they're in a relationship, then they must love each other. I feel, yeah, that's the logic. That's the logic a lot of these folks have out here. And it's not just the females. I'm sure it's also some men out there too. Yep, and Stefan says, I don't think that's just the Bay Area. No, this is a global pandemic. The way that love is viewed, this is a pandemic in itself. Turtle Matt says, I hate it that people be hating on me and my girl because they can't get with me. Hey, yeah, Turtle Matt, that's where you have to put up the boundaries. If they were real friends and they loved you as a friend, they wouldn't even be trying to do that. That's some shady stuff, bro. Honestly. Crystal says, of course not, and I've been to other places. Yes, period. Platonic relationships don't get valued enough. Not at all. Not at all. And even when you're just trying to be platonic, I've seen folks take the platonic thing and try to warp it into like, oh, she wanna fuck me or something like that. Sorry, again, excuse my language. No, I'm being friendly because I wanna be your friend and I'm showing you just regular human love. That don't mean that I wanna have, sexual intimacy with you, coitus. I don't wanna do that. No, I just wanted to be friends. But people can't hold themselves to that. It both said, say them curse words louder. You got me so dead. Stefan says, one thing I read a while ago was that in certain situations, when a person is grown enough to know what they doing, you just gotta let them learn by their own mistakes and just be there for them, Exactly. I think that brings me to the next point of being able to love people from a distance, and that's also part of setting boundaries. You can still have love for somebody, but sometimes you have to put distance in between y'all in order for that love to be as healthy as it can be. I think we can tend to neglect that. That sort of thing is super important in having, a healthy relationship. Crystal says, I hate dudes that be like, guys can't be friends with girls. Love, you're given assaulter vibes. Exactly. Why can't we just be friends with no sexual tension? Like, why is that in your head when you speak to another person? Yeah, crits of the opposite sex. Y'all, do not mess with people like that. That be on the vibe like, I can't have friends because I end up, sleeping with them or something like that. Like, do not be that person. You do not have to be that person. And it's like, no, you can be a fucking friend. You just have to have some fucking self-control and stop thinking with your fucking body and start thinking more with your fucking spirit and your, the love that's within the spirit, which is like pure love. Again, brotherly love. Yeah, having a friendly conversation. Yes, it's weird. It's fucking weird. And I think that's why we can't have, it's hard for, again, I can only speak for myself as a woman. It's hard to have platonic relationships because of the fear that somebody in the back of their mind is thinking about, all this sexual stuff about me. And not saying that this doesn't happen to men, because trust, I've talked to women who've sexualized men too. So it's not just women, it's also, men that this also happens to. And we see, no offense, we see a lot of women and the music that we listen to get more sexually aggressive. So they already are trying to put out that sort of vibration amongst us to do what the men have done to us. It doesn't work like that. But anyway, that's a side note. Guys. Sorry. Let me continue this. But I hope everybody's having a good, Thursday. We over here just talking about this stuff. But yeah, folks, love. So, I think when we think of love, we should think about the essence of having true human social connection with another person. And I think at the end of the day, it is something that we all kind of just are searching for. Some of us are fortunate to find that within, family members or relationships that we're involved in. And yeah, honestly, that's awesome if you have. And that's where, if you have found it, I have to go and say, like, it's your time to just start spreading that to other people. Again, it doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to, be something more complicated than it is. It's as simple as, saying thank you to somebody. That's showing love. It's simple as saying, wow, you did so amazing. That's showing, love doesn't have to be complicated, y'all. It really doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, I just had to sit there with that thought for a second. Love doesn't have to be complicated. And I hate that we keep making it complicated amongst each other. You have to have boundaries. That is a necessity. And I will continue saying that for everybody. You must have boundaries when loving people. Because if you do not, that's when they will take advantage of you. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Ippo. Thank you. Yeah, it's slowly coming together. Slowly but surely. Crystal says she tried to leave to come to me because I sent a signal. Oh, yeah. Drums, bruh. Yeah, it's the bare minimum to have gratitude. Yeah, it should be free. Not enough people say fucking thank you enough. And this goes into another rant. I'm tired of when I go out in public and, I'm just minding my own business. I'm not trying to look for any issue with people, but it's like the people out there have so little love that they could care less about what they do to you. For example, yesterday, we gotta go and do laundry, right? As I'm backing out, I noticed that there's this lady blocking me, right? Okay, I give her a few seconds. I'm like, maybe she don't notice me. Understandable. I go out and I beat my horn a little bit just to kind of get her to notice me. And she automatically starts cussing at me. Like, y'all do not have love or respect for your, fellow human beings. Bitch, you don't even know who the fuck I am. I was just making a joke to my sister. I could have been a murderer. You don't even know who I am and you doing that. I could have been causing a lot more chaos and a lot more ruckus, but that's what I mean is the love out there in the world is so little that even in daily interactions like that, somebody gotta go and cuss me out for whatever reason. That's demonic to me. If you automatically cussing me out for nothing, you probably got something going on inside. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, I tried to make the lips look a little, plump. That was really a goal of mine. But, oh yeah, and Crystal says, yes, I am about to, hopefully be making prints soon. That is something that will come slowly but surely. It's in the making. But yeah, I'm just multitasking a whole bunch of things. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. And it won't be, like I said, it won't be hella expensive for ordering a print and stuff. I want to say the manufacturer only really charges not that much, honestly. Because I have one print that I gave to Crystal, and it was only maybe $7. $7 or something like that. Oh, period. Yeah, Diego, people always take things the wrong way. And I'm tired of, the belligerent ghetto bullshit that be happening, because, no offense, it's not coming out of love. It's not coming out of love, and I don't fuck with that. Because I go out into the world trying to show love as much as I can. Because I know how shitty the world is. And it's people like that, the belligerent people, that be doing the most, that add to the shittiness of the world. And it's just like, I just wanna, I be wanting to slap people, but I be having to hold myself back. That is not very, that is not very good. But yeah, y'all, can you really imagine a world where everybody was just like loving one another? And just, I don't know, wanting to help another? I think even coming to a point where we just want to help each other, we have to have some form of love amongst each other. Or else we will never be able to do anything great. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. At this point in my life, I'm like, if you're gonna cuss at me, I'm just about ready to throw hands. Like, I really don't care. Yeah, exactly. Crystal says, but then I gotta get ghetto and belligerent. Yeah. Certain things like that, you just can't keep pushing off to the side. $7 for Thank you, Matt. Yes, it's not hella expensive. And I really just be doing this for fun right now. Money can come later. Oh, I cannot wait till y'all see what I do with this in just a second. I'm about to do some fucking magic in a moment. The world doesn't even exist in my dream. Oh, I'm dead. Alternate universe. No, but facts. Right. Random people popping up and shit. Okay, here's a question I'm gonna propose to you, Crits. Random person pops up into your life, again, out of the blue. Do you automatically show them love? Or what? Do you have conditions surrounding that? And you know what? Everybody else in the chat too, answer that question. Like, if there really was a case where somebody pops up out of the blue, hitting you up and all that stuff, trying to come back into your life for whatever reason, do you automatically show them love? Or do you take a step back and actually try to think to yourself, why are they really coming up? Can you show love without showing love? I think showing gratitude is a way. Showing love without showing like love. But Crystal says it depends how we left off. I agree. Yeah, it depends. That's why I'm in Stockton. I'm not trying to see Brian Hayward. Bro. Ippo, bro. Fuck Hayward. Fuck Hayward. Fuck Hayward. Oh, for real, Matt? Stockton's not that far, dude? Stockton's kind of far. Stockton's still a trip for me. Oh yeah, because Ippo and I reconnected and we just be on the game and yeah, you guys really are like stream siblings. Okay, let's say that you guys did not leave off on a good spot. Do you still show love then? I think that's hard. Because it's like, as much as I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I do a lot of the times, it's like I cannot necessarily trust that, that the other person has changed. to a way that is appropriate for me to have like a relationship with them, if that makes sense. I think that can either, that can either make or break the relationship to come. I think it depends on how much I cared for them. Okay, yeah. No, I definitely agree too, Jerome. Oh, Faye, the question was, if somebody pops up into your life out of the blue, do you automatically show them love? Let's say that you guys fell off and you guys weren't as cool anymore. Do you still try to show them love? Or do you have like some things that you kind of like take into consideration? Crystal had mentioned taking into consideration the fact of how we left off. Jerome says it all depends on how much I cared for them or how much I believe in their character. Yeah, Crit's always been cool. Cool cat. Yeah, what's up, Turtle Matt? What do y'all want / like in a person? Oh, that's a very good question. I'll let the chat handle that first. I have to sit and think sometimes with questions like that. Okay. Authenticity, that's a good one. Genuineness, for sure. I think really what I look for is like, I really try to judge a person's heart. Do you have a good heart? You know? And that's usually by judging their character, like Jerome said. Okay. And Crystal has a question. Perfect. Yeah. Oh. Jerome, explain what authenticity means. Turtle Matt is a little bit younger. He does not necessarily know what that means. Honestly, Turtle Matt, authenticity means like just being real, being who you are at the core, and not being a fake person, you know? Yeah, so like I said, I think what I really look for is just how good of a heart you have, which is based on your character, which means that I really have to kind of keep into account who you are and how your behaviors are. I really, I'm the type of person that really just be observing all of that. And let's see, Crystal asked her question. How do you know if you love someone? For me, I think that I know I love someone when I'm basically willing to do whatever for them, you know? Obviously, there's boundaries to that, but like, I'm willing to take in considerations what you need from me and take into consideration to provide those things for them. I think that's how I know if I love somebody. And you know, just also wanting them to be a better person, you know, helping them take into account of their flaws and vice versa, my own flaws. Let's see. Stefan says, yeah, of course, depends on how we left off and how long for me, but also it's not hard to show simple love and respect. Like, it never has to be beef. It's whatever the other person wants it to be. Because, if you cool, then I'm cool. No, I absolutely believe, yeah, I agree with you too, Stay. Yeah. I think simple love and respect, exactly. And that's the whole purpose of me having this stream, is having simple love and respect. I may not know this other person, or we may have fell off hella long ago, but it doesn't mean that I can't have simple love and respect for that other person. Ippo says, what I like in a person is truth and honesty. Yeah, truth and honesty, for sure. I absolutely agree with that. Truth and honesty, I think, are super important things to take note in when you are dealing with the idea or concept of love. That those are definitely some important things to look at. Let's see. What's y'all best story of get? Matt, we might have to have a different stream for that. Crystal says, ooh, I'm talking to mom. She said, you can use your love as a weapon of hatred. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is double-edged. Double-edged. Love can switch quickly into hatred or animosity. But don't let it get that far. Ippo says, I feel like that is a hard question, to be honest, but I don't want to sound stupid. Hey, Ippo, no question, no answer is stupid. It's just how, your experience. I just feel like, like you see the other side of this person and how close you get to this person. Yeah, helping each other grow not out of forcing each other, but out of love. And also how she said you can do things, no questions asked. Yeah, I absolutely feel everything that everyone's saying. They says, and everybody just be cool. We'll all be cool. Exactly. If everybody could just be cool, if everybody could just have simple love and respect, we would all be cool on this planet, y'all. We could all be cool on this planet. But there's so much hate and division out there. Yeah, mom be dropping some gems. Ippo says, how do you all feel about people who try to act like nothing happened between you guys, but something serious happened? Honestly, those are the same type of people I think that would be trying to gaslight you. Because I can't necessarily trust anybody who cannot acknowledge the wrongdoing that they may have committed, personally. Because you obviously have no insight, is my point. Oops. No smoking kiss. Yeah, they do be real life haters. I like someone that understands themselves and doesn't expect me to read their mind. Yeah, I think communication is also, a big part of that. So yeah, I appreciate you guys saying that. To have any sort of transparent love, there has to be a form of communication that happens between y'all. Oops. Aw, man. I think they weird and inconsiderate. Yeah, they're weird and inconsiderate. Like, do not try to pass up on me when you did, you did me some dirt. Do not try to pass up on that. I don't like that. I definitely don't like that. Oops. There we go. But, one question I did want to propose to y'all. Can self-love become toxic? Can self-love become toxic? I already have my thoughts and opinions about it, but I want to ask y'all, can it become toxic? They says, because in some situations I feel like we have to be able to just accept someone else's feelings that may not be there or manifest in some ways. Yeah, there is a chance that their feelings don't necessarily match yours. And that's entirely okay. Don't let that get to your fucking ego, who might lash out because of that, though. Ugh. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm like over here just adding some details. Let me check out the chat in a second. Let's see. Yes, self-love culture can be very counter. Thank you. I thought I was the only one who thought about the how self-love can be very toxic. So, I think that this, you have to have some form of self-love in order to be able to give love to other people. But if you go too freaking far, like, I have to go ahead and say, like, there might be something a little bit wrong with you, because once you get so far into self-love, you can only be concerned with yourself, and you cannot be concerned with the other person. You are only going to be thinking of, how can not only I benefit myself, but how can they also benefit me too? Because it's all about the self. Yeah, you could have self-love, but you can't, I don't think it's healthy to have too much. And that goes with anything that you do. It's good to have some, maybe experience some, but it gets to a point where if you do too much, it becomes counterproductive. Like Faye was saying, it becomes toxic. And I think the what were some examples I was thinking of when it came to self-love? Like, you're putting your own needs above everybody else. Again, it's not bad that you do that. I think everybody has their own personal needs that they have to attend to, but it gets to a point where then you're not looking at, what about everybody else in my circle right now? What about my family? What about, my friends and things like that? They says, and I feel like it's always going to be hard to love another human being the way you love yourself when you don't even love yourself right. Absolutely right. If you can't love yourself appropriately, there is no way you can in full capacity love another person the same. Yes. Crystal says having a balance of self-love and selflessness. Yes. Tournament, if you want some all black shoes, you might need some Air Forces. They says, and I feel like we end up going too hard on ourselves trying to uphold others to a certain standard, and vice versa. Nah, bro, yeah. I definitely feel that. Yeah. Yeah, them standards can actually be very destructive. But, let's see, do I want to do anything else to this? Y'all, honestly, y'all think I should add anything else onto this? I don't know. I could just do, I don't know, some random dots. Thank you, Crit. Rain, ooh, you know what? I think some sparkles might actually do this this thing some justice. Yeah, let's. Ooh, I really like that idea. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So, y'all, at the end of the day, I think the major points I wanted to just point out is to love one another. To have simple love for one another, because shoot, there's not enough love out there. I don't think there definitely needs to be more, and we gotta be willing to also share some of the burdens that exist out in the world, because it's not just us people who love that go through this stuff, it's other people too. And I don't think that we can truly experience the full extent of love unless we have an understanding of what it means to be hurt. And at the same time, it's love that repairs that hurt. And in healing in love, we are able to understand essentially the full extent of what it has to offer, because really emotional pain is much, I feel like emotional pain is so much deeper than any sort of physical pain that anybody can experience. I feel like that sort of thinking that emotional pain needs to get, healed, we need to embody that, because there's so much pain out there in the world again, and hurt people, and I think also not everybody was meant to love, maybe not. And just me coming to terms with that. As much as I want everybody to go out there and just love the world, I have to also acknowledge some people out there aren't meant to love the world and love others. And be careful for those people. Those are the ones in sheep's clothing. Oh my god, I really thank you for your suggestion, because this is looking so freaking cute. Yeah, you said some stars, Matt? I'll put some stars. But anyway, I didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to have a discussion. And I really appreciate all the feedback that you guys been putting up in the chat and talking about your experiences with this stuff. And yeah, man, like this stuff is what really makes my day, honestly. And I like the fact that I know that there are people out there who think or are thinking as deep as me. And I just want to say, like, from the bottom of my heart, I really love y'all. And I don't do this for the clout. I do this because I love y'all so much that I want everybody to try to be better people out there, because the world is shitty. And we can only be, we can only start with ourselves. And that's where we have to be. So, unless y'all have anything else you need to ask me or whatever, I'm gonna say peace out. I really appreciate it again. And like I said, I really love you guys. And like I said, I make this stuff for you guys so we can talk and so we can learn from each other, because nobody taught us how to live life. And that's the fucking truth. So, let me go ahead and put up my end screen. I appreciate you guys turning up some music. Let me turn off my webcam. Here's the picture. You guys will probably see this on Instagram maybe later today or tomorrow. But thanks, guys. Love you guys. Bye.